Okay, we're recording to the cloud. Happy Monday, Jackpotters. It is November, I'm always looking, 20th. And tonight we're going to be sharing some of our stories. You guys have been practicing. I'm going to be going over PVC reports from the end of the month and then the current, because today's the 20th. You should have got one in your email box today. Did everyone get a PVC report sent to them? Yes? If you did not, that's definitely something you want to check in with distributor support and see why you didn't, okay? So I run this call with Megan Martin and Jamie Mercer, and I know Megan has a little one that's a little under the weather, so she might be trying to get her down, and Jamie is on the road back from a volleyball game for her daughter in the middle of no man's land, so she doesn't have phone service. So this is what we get to do, right? It's awesome that as a team we get to do this together, and we decided we'd take turns leading so that when the other ones had different events going, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So we're going to kick it right off, and I'm going to let Julie unmute herself. And I don't even know which story you're going to share, but go for it, girl. We're ready for it.
You want me to share both or just one?
I'm up for whatever you want to do, girl. You go to it.
All right, well, first I'm going to share my product story.
Okay.
Back in the day, I felt like every day was a rat race. I was constantly on the run, juggling a full-time job, kids, husband, and trying to find some time for me. I didn't take care of myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. I survived off of caffeine and junk food. Sundrop and nutty bars were my go-to drug. I didn't realize how all this poor nutrition was affecting my life in those areas. When a friend cared enough about me to tell me about an easy way to flood my body with more fruits and vegetables, it just made sense. Our life was changed. Not only are we physically healthier, but we have also become healthier mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. As a family, we go to the doctor less, have more energy, and we have become advocates for our own health as we learn more and more what good health is.
Awesome.
And then my business is, I used to be passionate about helping people find insurance that met their needs, because I know the importance of helping people protect their future and realize their dreams. However, the drama and life-sucking energy of the office I worked at kept me from truly helping others. I was too busy putting out fires. But a good friend helped me to see how I could fulfill my passion of helping others in a more tangible, meaningful way. When she introduced me to the Juice Plus company, it made sense to me. I stepped away from a paycheck to create a life where I was fulfilled, not only financially, but spiritually, mentally, and physically. Now my future is created solely through helping others protect their future and realize their dreams. And I am truly blessed that God has given me an outrageous life.
Gosh, you're getting me all teary again. That I barely made it through the Empire call, and then Ashley told her story in the Empire call. I'm like, I gotta grab my wine glass. Oh my gosh. So that was awesome, Julie. Thank you for sharing that. You guys, one thing that, hopefully you're okay with me giving you critiques and everything, and I want to give Julie kudos, because a lot of the stories I've been getting from people, they send them to me and say, what do you think? And there's a couple of you that posted and I haven't got to respond yet, but Brandy's having me tweak a lot of people's stories. What I love that you did, Julie, is you made it conversational. Like, you guys can write down before Juice Plus, but then take it and say it like you would say it to a friend, and it's okay to text the way that you talk. And I know we don't all come from the same parts of the country. We have different dialects. Like, I was teasing Heidi Cook because every time I hear from her, she's like, hey girl, hey, and I'm like, you would not start your sentence to me, before Juice Plus, I was tired. You'd be like, hey girl, oh my gosh, I was like, whew, flipping out, so tired all the time. So it's okay to say it the way that you talk. So just know that. But I do think it's good to write it in that script form to start with, because it helps you build confidence. When we do these Zoom launches, I promise you that I have Brian Rowe's script up on my computer, but because I can look at my screen and kind of, you know, make my eyes go back and forth, it's like people don't really notice. And then when I'm doing mine, like we did last week, I wrote it on this Post-it note, and then I take it and I put it right here, right under my camera. And so that way when I'm talking, I'm looking directly at the camera, and even though I'm reading right off it, I can say like, 10 years ago, I was overwhelmed and exhausted, but it looks like I'm looking directly at you. So there's some kind of tips when you're telling your story if you're doing it by video. Even if you're doing a selfie recording, your camera's at the top. Take your Post-it note. You don't need to look at yourself. Stick that little Post-it note like this and pop it right under your camera, and no one will even know. And that way you're making really good eye contact. The biggest thing I've noticed lately on cameras is this is the view I'm getting from everybody. It's like this. And it's like they're looking down at me, and it's kind of like, ah. And as far as body language goes, you know, we always want to be looking up at people. It's subliminal, but anyway. And you also want to nod a lot, because when you nod a lot, other people start nodding, and then you're like, yeah, you get it? Like, I was exhausted, and they're like, yeah, me too. So make sure you're sending some of those subliminal messages as you're learning to tell your story. All right, we probably got time for one more, and I'm going to jump into this training. Anybody want to be brave, or do you want to be voluntold? I think Crystal went last week, and then, oh, Amanda's got her hand up.
I'll tell my product story, because
Okay.
last time I told my business story. So.
Right, perfect.
So about 2 years ago, I was a mom at my wit's end. I had a very sick child, and as a pharmacist was at no end knowing what to do to make him better. He was getting sick all the time, and antibiotic after antibiotic, I was just fed up. I could not give him another antibiotic, and I had a friend who was kind enough to share about Juice Plus, and she gave me the information I needed, knowing that I was going to go back and research it before I did anything, and she kindly waited for me to come and ask questions. After doing my own little research, I thoroughly jumped on board and actually got my whole family on board with it, and we started it as a group, as a family, and it has done amazing for us. My son is not sick as much. He used to be sick every week, and his little immune system is just not 100% yet, but we are working up, and the best part about it is we were at a wellness visit for my other son, and the doctor's like, oh, it's been 6 months since we've seen you. And it's like, yes, that's exactly why I did this, because we were in every week, and now we are not in every week. It's been 6 months. So we are just thrilled and cannot wait to see how well my son gets, and positivity of my second son not being as sick as his older brother.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I saw another hand go up, but I'm going to grab you right after I get the training. I'm going to jump into this because I want to make sure we get this in here, guys, because this is why we're on here, is to learn this stuff. So I'm going to screen share for you. Okay. First, I'm going to go, well, I'm trying to go on the internet. This is what I want. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to show you in the virtual office one more time. There's 2 different reports that you want to run. And we were talking about this in the group that is headed for the Eltons next year. You know, they still work on these reports too, you know, but for me, this is something I believe that if you know where your money comes from and you understand where your paycheck comes from, you're going to be able to move forward faster in your business, because you know what you want your paycheck to be. It's not just about, I want my paycheck to be X amount per month. If I ask any of you, like in your JOB, do you know how much you make an hour? Or do you know what your salary is per month? I'm willing to bet 100% of you would tell me yes, right? So do you know how much you make in Juice Plus? Well, you might say, well, my paycheck was this last time, but what does that really mean? You know, did you work 10 hours and you know, got a $500 paycheck, because that's a really great paycheck, you know? So I think we don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes on our Juice Plus check. So here's what you do. For the first one, you really need to do this, I say, the first week of the month. It does not come out until payroll has gone through. So once your paycheck has deposited, you'll be able to get this. So it's usually like, I'm gonna say the 6th or 7th of the month. So this is something I go into the second. And so what I do is you go to my business and team at a glance. I gotta move your faces to the other side of the screen so I can scroll down. And you scroll down through your alerts and your current month, and all of a sudden you're on your previous month, okay? And there's all those pie graphs at the bottom. But down here, there's 2 different reports. One is the 12-month analysis, and we're not gonna actually learn a whole lot about that in the Jackpot group ever. You're gonna be learning more, probably not even in the Fast Track to Sales Coordinator. It might be the next group up, because this is just something that, while you do need it, the PVC report, there's columns that we're gonna focus on for each group, we decided. So you're gonna go to this previous month end PVC report, and you're gonna click it, and it's gonna bring it up right in your office. And I'm not gonna click mine just because it has statistics from other people on my team in here, but I did already screen share it. I already took a snapshot of it, of just my numbers, so I'm gonna show you that. Okay. That's in my way. Okay, you guys all, are you seeing the little PVC example right now? Okay. So in this group, we really focus a lot around this column 6. So this is what your PVC report looks like. And if we read it left to right like a book, I'm gonna tell you what everything is, and then we're gonna go backwards, because I believe that you should read your PVC report right to left. Okay, so the first thing is, it says line number. So you're always your own line 1. Anyone that is frontline to you is a 2. Anyone that is frontline to them is a 3, okay? So for instance, Gina Zaravos is frontline to me, she's a 2, and she sponsored Larry on this call, he's a 3 on my report, okay? He sponsored his daughter Julie, she's a 4. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you guys should know that you get paid 5 generations down. Your lines and your generations are not the same thing. So let's say that Gina doesn't qualify and Larry doesn't qualify, and Gina has a and Julie, who's my line 4, has a qualified business. She's actually my first generation. So what that means is you can get paid on a whole lot of people. Now, I know that's all not true. Trust me, it's not true. But just because they're aligned, that just tells you how many people there are in between you, okay? It gives you their name. It gives you their, it's funny, it says voice tell, because we used to have a thing called voice com here, which I don't know, Julie might be in long enough, she remembers that. I don't know if anybody else is. But so make sure that this is a number that actually works, because a lot of people put their home phone number in there, which is fine, but a lot of people got rid of their landline. So I do like to check this with my distributors and make sure it's a valid number, because a lot of people got missed last year when they went through the renewals. They actually physically called every single person to tell them that they had paychecks waiting. Some people had $5,000 paychecks sitting in the bank that all they had to do was press a button in their office and they would have got their check, but they didn't have a valid phone number and they don't answer emails. The next line is their title. So here you would see whether they're a dealer, DD, all the way up to National Marketing Director. Their title date is when they hit that last promotion. So see, for me, it was September of 15. That was when I hit National Marketing Director. This is important to see. So I will tell you guys that anyone who has a title date of, I would say 9/17, 10/17, or past, those are people you really want to focus on, because those are the people that can fast track in that conference window. Then from then on, you will see some lines that are not quite lined up very well. This first one is promotional PVC. You'll notice that mine's is 0. Once you hit sales coordinator, there's nothing there anymore. But for those of you that are still VFs, you probably have some promotional volume. The promotional volume is, and I keep this sheet attached to my computer. I like this very much, if you can see it. It's the chart that you get paid on. So promotional volume would be the line that says total points. Do any of you guys, like show of hands, do you keep this near your computer where you can see it? Anybody? Okay, I'm gonna drop this into the Jackpot group. I highly suggest you print it. People for years will Voxer me and be like, Karen, how much is a duo worth? Because they know that I know like that, but that's because I've always had it in my site, okay? So total points, that's what we get the promotional PVC volume at. Then you come to downline payline. Don't ever worry about this, what it says. I don't know why they still have it on here. Column 2, junk, ignore it. Column 3, required to qualify, junk, ignore it. What it is like the long way to everything, and it's not even right. So 2 and 3, not a nothing, don't matter, okay? For column 1, going back to that, if they're over, if they have 500 and they're in that 30-day window, that's a DD promotion, right? If they're under, if they have 2,000 in that 60-day window, that's a VF promotion. Otherwise, it takes more points to get there. Okay, this is the 4, 5, 6 columns that we call the 6, 4, 5. And I'm not going to get deep into that, but I'm going to tell you each one. Column 4, this is the column we actually look at to see if you guys are qualified in your business. If you have 1,000 points right here, and I'm going to take you through a PowerPoint here in a second. If you have 1,000 in the column 4, then you are a qualified business, okay? So you'll see here I have 2,300. Your dealers and your DDs feed into this number. This is why we want to focus on column 6 with you guys, because if people promote, once they promote to VF, their numbers for you fall into this next column, which is POBQ. This is actually column 5. You see how far away it is? I don't know why. Just know that column 4 and column 5 are always together. And then where it says 5, this is your excess for each, the company that lets you bank excess. So column 4, your dealers and DDs roll into this. If you have a VF under you, then they fall into this POBQ, you and your VFs. If you don't have a VF yet, you may not have anything in this column. That's okay. The reason we look at this number is if it's over 3,000 and you have sales coordinators under you, then you get an extra 4% on those sales coordinator lines, because they're already getting all their 22% and they're already getting all the other bonus you can claim. So this is a way to get extra bonus money on them. Okay. Any questions there? Okay. This is the column we want you looking at. This is the most important, is column 6. Gotta have a wine break. My mouth is dry, sorry. Probably because I'm drinking wine. Okay, we're not shredding, don't judge. Okay, over here on, before you get to column 6, this tells you your preferred customer count. When you see us drop into Empire, like 10, 20, 30, 40 recognition, this is what we're talking about. So I have 38 preferred customers last month. And then column 6, this is me. This is what I have. So I'm a jackpot business because I have over 1,000 by myself, just with my customers, okay? It was not always like that. And I can tell you in January of last year, it was very, very super low, because I had team built for so long that really they tell you when you hit NMD, you don't have to keep, you know, pushing so hard for customers. I'm going to tell you guys that's a big fat lie, and never, ever, ever, ever listen to that. Because where do you get your team from? Your customer base. So I need a new frontline team, but I didn't have anyone that believed in the product yet. So your customers are your best team members. And if they're not, then they're your best referral partners, because they will tell other people about Juice Plus even when they don't want to do the business. So make sure that you keep that, that plug, and you keep those customers. It is so much easier to keep customers than it is to get new ones. I will tell you that, okay? So just like businesses say, it's easier to retain employees than to train new ones. So happy customers bring you more happy customers, or they turn into team. All right, The very last thing over here is just, this is the awards bulletin. It's how many months in a row that you've been in. So I've qualified my business for 113 months straight. Go me, go me. I did it the second month I was in Juice Plus, and I have never fallen out since. So, and then this is your anniversary date. So I joined the business March 25th of 2008. So this is why I like to go this way. I look this way and I see, okay, Susie Q has, 38 customers and she is already self-qualified. So then I'm going to look next at her column 4 and I'm going to go, okay, well, her personal is at 1278 and her column 4 has 2,300 in it. So that means she has some dealers or DDs. And her POBQ is higher than that. So she has a couple of VS. Ultimately, there is a number that we want to get to it's doubled and higher. But again, we'll get into that in the next group. But really, we want you guys to focus on this column 6. Okay. One more screen share. And some of you have seen some of this, but I just thought this was funny. Maybe, if it comes up. Okay. This is like, my paycheck's too big. I can't deposit it on my phone. Because like if it's over a couple $1,000s, you can't mobile deposit. But okay. What is a qualified business? We are really focusing on that jackpot. We're calling the jackpot that column 6. That's what Megan and so I know some of you have seen, sometimes people put into Team Empire like, oh, so-and-so has a jackpot business for the first time. It's fine. They just mean they're qualified. But we really know the true jackpot is when you're qualified all by yourself. So if you're a VF, you have that 1,000 paid points flowing through your business every month. In column 4, you are qualified, right? Why do you qualify? You earn an extra 5% bonus on those 5 generations that I talked about. It quickly becomes the biggest part of your paycheck. So the first month, it may be $17. But for me, it's about 85% of my paycheck now. So it's a big deal. Maximizes your efforts. I'm going to skip some of this because we're going fast on time. This just gets you up the marketing plan. I did not make this PowerPoint, totally stole it. Okay, so what makes up that 1,000 in your column 4? Again, it's your orders, your family, your personal preferred customers, your new distributors, and your DDs. Okay, that's your column 4. Boy, she put all kinds of graphics in here. You get that excess safety net. But here's what we want to look at, the 3 levels of it. And know that, yes, we say jackpot instead of qualified. Level 1 is your 1,000 points in your column 4. Level 2, customer qualified. This is what we're calling the jackpot right here. 1,000 points in your own customer base. 1,000 points. However, level 3, if you get up to 1,600, that's where you start hearing them say a lot. If you have 1,600 points in your column 6, and you're a sales coordinator, you're generating $750 paycheck on just your customers. Okay, so if you want to get to the comma club, the fastest way you can do that is to make sure you are self-qualified sales coordinator. If you are a self-qualified sales coordinator, because this is 1,000, you probably already have 1,600 anyway, because you have team members underneath you, and then you keep working to the 1,600 by yourself. When you hit 1,600 by yourself and you have that structure of 2 VFs and a DD, or preferably 3 VFs under you, you're easily not only making $1,000, you're probably making closer to 1,500. So I don't know how many of you have thought about like where you really want your paychecks to be, but I just feel like this is such a good time of year to do that. It keeps you focused through the holidays on what you want. And as we really know from Wendy Campbell's training, that what shows up on your paycheck is from 4 months prior. So this is November. Where do you want your paycheck to be going into that spring conference? It matters what you do through the holidays, if you want to be self-qualified, if you want to move into the next group, you want to be a sales coordinator, walking into Phoenix, the activity is right now. I got to check my time because I know I talk a lot. Okay, we're almost done. And I will leave a minute for question. So I'm going to stop right there so that I don't overwhelm you guys, because I know that I talk super fast and I know that reports can be a little overwhelming. You know, my gift is not like the gift of creativity. I give that to Jamie Kinsey, you know, the big vision, Brandy Foss. My skill set is numbers and technology. So I think that's why I got this group. So you guys can start learning the numbers really early. So what questions do you guys have about numbers? Anything on there that doesn't make sense? I have no idea what you said, Karen. You talk really, really fast. I don't know the difference between 4 and 6. Anything at all. You have to unmute yourself if you have a question. Wow, I must be a really awesome teacher that you guys are just getting it just like that. So, okay. Well, if you do have questions, please, please post them in our Facebook group. Homework this week will be to print off your current PVC report. You should have got it again from the company. And I want you to look at that column 6. And I want you to see how far you are in trios. So remember, the way to do that is take 1,000 and then subtract your number. So say you're at 700. That would leave you with 300 to go. And then divide that by 42. It's really 42.38, but I just say 42 because that's way easier. Always round to the whole number. So divide that by 42 to see how many trios you need. And when I post the video replay, put in that comments below. And also, you can do that for column 4 though if you want. You know, say I'm 3 trios from being qualified and 6 trios from being self-qualified, from being a jackpot. Okay, I'm 5 from being qualified and I'm 8 from a jackpot. So put that in that so you can distinguish for yourself. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on, and I hope you all have an amazing, blessed holiday with your family and loved ones, and eat lots of turkey and celebrate well. Okay.